The world is quietly but surely splitting into two orders, creating a profound shift in global power and influence that we must understand. This is the final showdown. On one side stands the United States, and on the other, China, as they move toward an era of unprecedented systemic competition. This conflict is not just a trade dispute, but a total competition spanning technology, military power, finance, and fundamental values. The trade war that began in 2018 appeared to be about tariffs, but it was actually the opening signal of a historic shift in global hegemony. At the time, the US imposed tariffs on approximately $250 billion worth of Chinese goods, and China responded with its own measures. However, the real war was taking place in areas invisible to the naked eye, centered on the mastery of semiconductors and AI technology. By 2025, the global semiconductor market is expected to exceed $600 billion, deciding who will hold the scepter of future power. The question of who will dominate this vital market will ultimately determine which nation governs the world's technological future. The United States seeks to control technology and establish the rules of the game, maintaining its position as the global standard setter. In contrast, China pursues rapid development and seeks to create a new order that challenges the existing Western-centric framework. The core insight is that this is not a game where the winner takes all immediately, but a test of who can endure the pressure the longest. While past wars were decided by military might, today's conflict is fought through economic strength, technological mastery, and systems. Harvard scholar Graham Allison describes this as the Thucydides trap, the structural tension when a rising power meets a dominant one. This structural tension creates a situation where conflict becomes almost inevitable as both sides struggle for space and influence. Historically, in 16 similar cases of a rising power challenging a dominant one, 12 resulted in actual military conflict. However, the presence of nuclear weapons and the deeply intertwined global economy make the prospect of total war a path to mutual ruin. Because open war is too costly, this struggle becomes far more complex and will likely last much longer than traditional conflicts. Now, we see this playing out in the real world through the actions of global corporations like Apple and Tesla as they navigate these waters. Apple CEO Tim Cook has described China as more than just a factory, calling it a highly complex and integrated manufacturing ecosystem. For years, Apple has produced approximately 90% of its iPhones in China, making it deeply dependent on the local infrastructure. But as the US-China conflict deepens, Apple has begun to diversify its production, moving segments to nations like India and Vietnam. This shift is not merely a corporate strategy. It is a clear signal that the world's manufacturing backbone is being fundamentally rebuilt. Another example is Tesla CEO Elon Musk, who committed deeply to the Chinese market by establishing a massive gigafactory in Shanghai. Despite his deep ties to China, Musk must also maintain a strong and cooperative relationship with the United States government. Musk has stated that he cannot choose one side over the other and must understand both worlds to ensure his company's success. We have entered an era where the goal is no longer choosing a side, but finding a delicate balance within this bipolar global structure. Henry Kissinger famously observed that while conflicts between powers start with error, their ultimate outcome is determined by structure. Ray Dalio also reminds us that history repeats itself, particularly in the inevitable cycles of debt, power, and the rise of new empires. Graham Allison warns that the mere rise of a new power naturally makes the established power feel insecure, creating a dangerous friction. As Charles Darwin noted, it is not the strongest who survive, but those who are most capable of understanding and adapting to change. John F. Kennedy interpreted crisis as a moment of danger that also holds great opportunity for those who have the vision to see it. Those who look at the long-term structural trends rather than short-term news headlines will be the ones who ultimately emerge victorious. The fight between these two giants will ultimately decide the kind of world we and our children will live in for the next century. The most important fact is that this war has already begun. We simply have not heard the sound of gunshots in the traditional sense. A war is often more dangerous when it has started, but the participants do not yet realize they are already in the midst of it. It is time to read the flow of history and prepare ourselves for the choices that will define our future and our prosperity. The question remains, will you be shaken by these changes, or will you find a way to ride the wave and reach new heights of success? If you find the constant stream of information overwhelming, take a moment to turn off the news and think deeply about the core issues. In an age of endless data, Too much information can often cloud our judgment and prevent us from seeing the true structure of the world. Instead, seek deep insight through the study of the humanities and history, which provide the tools needed to navigate any crisis. I invite you to join me on this journey as we explore the deeper wisdom that will help nourish your soul and sharpen your mind. Please subscribe and like this video if you find these insights valuable, and help us grow this community of thoughtful observers. I sincerely wish you all the very best as you navigate these changing times and find your own path toward a meaningful future. If you would like to reach out or collaborate, please contact me, James Ko, at k90391198@gmail.com. That's Jongmoon Ko. Stay connected with Nagur US-China conflict, Lag global order, Nagur economic war, Yagrur tech hegemony, international politics, and Nagur future strategy. Search for US-China conflict, Thucydides trap, global supply chain, AI hegemony, semiconductor race, and world economy. These insights are drawn from my years of study and the many books and manuscripts I have authored to help make sense of our world. History shows us that while systems may change and empires may rise and fall, human resilience remains our most constant virtue. I believe that the depth of our thought ultimately determines the depth and quality of the lives we choose to lead in this world. Knowledge is the primary way that humans expand their world beyond the limitations of their immediate environment and experience. To understand the current conflict, we must first understand the fundamental human condition and the desires that drive all civilizations. We must also recognize that humans are often more persuaded by compelling stories and myths than by cold, hard facts and truth. Culture and economics are now inseparable, as seen in the global reach of phenomena that bridge nations and define our shared era. Philosophy remains our most vital tool for navigation, helping us find meaning and direction when the world around us is in flux. Even a tiny shift in your perspective can lead to a massive change in your destiny if you have the courage to act upon it. Always remember that choosing the right direction is far more important than the amount of raw effort you expend in the wrong one. Those who learn to master their time and focus their energy will find that they have everything they need to succeed in any era. In this anxious and fast-paced era, it is essential to maintain your inner calm and not be shaken by the noise of the world. The real riches of life are found in the quality of your thoughts and the depth of your understanding of the world around you. True success is not an accident. It is a system that you build through your habits, your choices, and your consistent daily actions. We have only one life to lead, so let us not waste it on trivialities that do not contribute to our growth or the well-being of others. It is never too late to start the work you were meant to do, to change your path, and to contribute something meaningful to the world. Success begins with the smallest of habits, nurtured over time with patience and the understanding that great things take time to grow. Take a step back from your daily concerns and look at the whole picture of your life and the world with clarity and perspective. Remember that life is a grand game of strategy, and the better you understand the rules, the more effectively you can play your hand. There is often one core decision structure that, once mastered, will change the entire trajectory of your future and your success. Wisdom is the bridge that allows us to move from the world as it is to the world as we wish it to be through informed action. As the global order is being rewritten, you have the opportunity to rewrite your own story and find your place in this new world. In the 21st century, semiconductors have become the new oil, the vital resource that powers all modern life and competition. Every day is a fresh opportunity to lead with insight and to make the choices that will define your character and your legacy. The calm moments we have now are the most important times to prepare for the structural shifts that are coming in the near future. May your decisions always be guided by the deep insights and the timeless wisdom that you have discovered on this journey with me. I want to thank you for your attention and your commitment to understanding the profound forces that are shaping our collective world. I look forward to hearing from you at k90391198@gmail.com and continuing our exploration of the humanities. Thank you. Thank you for joining this masterclass. I wish you wisdom, success, and peace in all your future endeavors. Goodbye for now.